Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No. Y'all,
This
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How we feeling?
Good.
Voting day.
Voted. Woo!
Yes.
All right, let's get to some important news. No, I'm kidding. That's important. That's
It is
important.
Thank you.
Good for you. Good
Thank
for you.
you.
But let's keep it light. Politics. All right, the wait is over. People magazine has named its new sexiest man alive. It's Al Jackson.
Yeah, right.
Don't we have that graphic
that's
somewhere?
right.
I feel like we have a
With your
sexiest man
head.
alive Al Jackson graphic.
Yeah, we do.
Probably should have talked about that
That's been
before the
deleted.
show.
Yeah.
It's none other than Chris Evans. That's right. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who was named Sexiest Man Alive in 2016, congratulated Chris on their new film set, but Chris mistakenly called him the former Sexiest Man Alive. I'm sure that was a mistake. Let's watch.
Weren't you Sexiest Man Alive in 2016? I'm Sexiest Man Alive in perpetuity, which means for life. Okay. Yeah, but I thought I was just named. Let me ask you a question, brother. Okay. Am I alive? Yeah. I'm still alive. Mm-hmm. Am I still sexy? Clearly. You bet your sexy mouth I am. We're sharing. We're going to share it. We're sharing it. All right. Are you ready? I'll take it.
You bet your sexy
All right,
mouth.
so Chris gained a lot of fame and followers for his shirtless scenes in Captain America, like the one we're viewing right now, and earned some sexy points for his many pics on Instagram posing with his pups. That's not fair.
Yeah, that's cheating. And also,
Why is it cheating?
because dogs,
Can't be having a six-pack and a puppy.
You're adding cuteness to the picture, and it's meant to sway the viewer.
Yeah.
That's why every guy has a dog on his Bumble or Tinder account. It's a thing.
It's because guys can like dogs too.
No, but it's also, why do you think guys take puppies to the beach? Oh, all she needs is a mom to take care of her too. It's a thing.
I don't know. Because I just had this conversation with one of my friends, and they're like, why don't you show Spike more on your social media? And I'm like, because Spike has a mind of his own. I'm not trying to force him into my social media. And she's like, well, I think when people see people with dogs, they realize what type of person they are.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, is it a hierarchy?
Jeff,
So
I
apparently
need some
there
backup
is.
here. Do you think men use dogs too? I mean, he doesn't need it, but do men use dogs to?
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
If you have six-pack and a puppy, you win at life.
Yeah, but also the fact that y'all are the two sitting here who don't actively live with dogs on a regular basis.
That's true.
That's very telling, because as I've been a single dog mom for the past few days, and it is a lot of responsibility. Like, I got to get home at a certain
Yes,
time.
don't throw in the
Okay, how
past
about
few
this?
days. You have a husband there that helps.
I know, I said for the past few days,
Okay,
not
but
forever.
you're
I'm
not
just
gonna
saying that
curry a
you
lot of-
realize it
okay.
more when you have two people in the household versus just one.
Can I
All
say
right.
something?
My
like,
wife was gone all weekend on a cruise, and I had
you're
my
still here?
children for the past 2 days. Okay, so it's a little bit different.
all right, and Jeff, I don't want to say this and sound like a hater, but if you're going to be the sexiest man alive, can you strike one pose that a normal person
I
has ever
agree.
taken?
The poses are bad.
Why are those poses? I don't
agree.
like. I don't.
Why is he so tired?
No one does that.
You know what? The only reason why you feel like that is because you've never struck that pose.
Because nobody ever has, Erica.
No. You should try the pose.
Who's done that
Especially
before?
the
The
one
slow
with your
sunglass?
arm behind your head.
Let's see it.
I'm telling you.
Let's try it out. Go.
What?
Hand
Just
behind the head.
make a pose.
Look tired.
He
Go ahead.
was standing like this in one of them. Like no one poses like that
But do
against
the
a
one
barn door.
hand behind, relax and put the one hand behind the head. See,
Now-
if I shoot you
Give
from
a
this
sultry
way,
look.
it
Give a
gives
sultry
you a
look to
nice
the camera.
line.
There we go.
You look awful. You look awful.
Listen,
Stop it.
I think we need a recount. We need a recount.
See? That's how you feel
I'm here
yourself.
for it.
It's true.
I see it.
And you know what's so cute? He said he wanted to have a wife and children soon. What a good boy.
Okay, and the dog, we got it.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to Steve with the music.
Yeah.
Good
Very
timing
good
there,
time.
buddy. All right. Sylvester Stallone is giving us some insight into what caused his wife to file for divorce. Sly and his wife, Jennifer Flavin, split up in August after 25 years of marriage, but got back together just a few weeks later. He told The Hollywood Reporter it was because he put his work ahead of his family. He called it, quote, a tragic mistake that won't happen again.
Here's what I don't get.
Okay.
Because I was interested in this, and it was very nice to hear the transparency of Sly Stallone, because we all wanted to know, why did he cover up his wife's tattoo with the dog?
Right.
That was a question.
Yes.
And he's saying it like he put work ahead, almost like a Tom Brady, hashtag Tom Brady. But did he mean an acute situation or like a long culminative search? Like it sounded like something happened.
Not acute situation, a specific situation.
Right, but I'm asking, it sounded like something happened specifically, didn't it to you? Because why would she just like all of a sudden break up after 25 years?
I think that would make more sense, what you're saying, because I agree with what you're saying, but it would make more sense if he was at the height of his career. It seems like he's kind of, not the tail end.
Right.
He's in one of the best careers ever. No shade. But it seems like these would have been problems in maybe the late 80s when he was the most popular man maybe on the planet.
I don't know why now.
It seemed a little strange now, but it didn't seem strange to me that relationships do grow apart no matter at what phase they are. So I wasn't shocked so much by when it happened, but the reason for it was confusing to me.
I don't think anyone has a perfect relationship, no matter how great it is and how much it's working for you, especially during different seasons. But I do think that sometimes something can happen that really is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Like a catalyst.
But it's a very different conversation to be like, I'm thinking about divorcing and we are actively talking to lawyers and looking at like auditing our financials and doing all of that. That's when it becomes very real. And if I'm looking at a lot of couples who are, later in life and they've been together for decades, and at the end of the day, they're like, listen, this has been a partnership. This has been almost a lifetime of partnership. This may not be perfect, but look how our family comes together for every holiday. Look at how, all of these things that we're able to do, and that might be something that we can work towards as opposed to starting to work past their issues. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. But there is a give and take, right? He's got to work, which means he might be out of town, out of the country for 6 months at a time. Boiling it down to just us. Have you ever sacrificed your partner for something that you do? If I want to get my body right, that takes time. You got to sacrifice the time with your family. If you want to get ahead in work, you got to spend some extra hours at work to get ahead. So it's got to be a give and take, and your partner's got to be cool with that. And at the same time, you got to be cool with giving up some of their dreams, right?
Oh,
and
for sure.
I think that's it. I think that was such a great question because I think that it relates to so many couples, Tori, and that, this isn't, the 1950s where you're, single income home, everything's fine, and you have these structured schedules. I can't imagine what Erica's schedule looks like for the week. I can't imagine what Anthony or your wife or you, there were years of my life where I was on the road 36, 38 weeks a year. Like Thursday through Sunday morning. It affects everything, and that changes. And my situation is so unique, not unique, because a lot of people drive Uber. They are basically work as a rental property manager for their Airbnb. Everybody has 14 jobs, and I think a lot of people can relate to this.
I think working with you, and I don't think I've ever said this to you, but like working with you has given me so much insight into what it takes and the mentality behind a Black father to say, I am going to provide for my family in this way, and that might mean sacrificing some time.
That's beautiful.
Because, my father had to make that sacrifice, and that was something that was a struggle for me growing up, and now I'm so grateful to him and my mother that they made that partnership work in co-parenting, because they were able to give us more by making that sacrifice, and now we're trying to get that time back, and it's beautiful.
That's lovely.
That is beautiful. And Al's more than just a beautiful heart. He's also a sexy face. Can we see that sexy man one more time before we go?
Bow, bow, bow. You guys, I'm about to eat lunch. I'm about to eat lunch. I'm done.
Speaking of another sexy face, coming up on DBL, actor Justin Hartley is telling us all about his new Christmas movie. Will it make us cry like This Is Us did?
Oh, God.
The music's still going. And share comments on finding love with someone half her age. Ooh, we're going to break it down next.
There's going to be a lot of internet chatter. That's where the red flag goes up.
We are never going to agree on this.
It's ignorant, and for me, it was just like a damn shame.
Tell me I need to do something, I'm going to do the exact opposite.
You know why I don't call in sick?
Camera hog.
That was nice. I like that.
Stephanie something? When you were doing your moves, you're
So Al, everyone's calling me. Everyone's needs a little makeup after Al's little sexy man.
It got a little hotter in here, and I'm not saying something's wrong with the AC, No, it's that's Jeff. First of all, I could see you. Oh, thank you. I could see you getting sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Jeff, you're a good-looking dude, man.
Can we not?
He is.
We're fine.
I told my homeboys when I got the show because I didn't know who booked. Because I went to Australia as soon as we did the auditions, and when I came back, I was telling my boy, I was like, "Oh, that pretty black woman that I told you she got it," and then that good-looking black dude, that good-looking white, because that's all I knew of you guys. I just saw you. I didn't really know your name, Jed, until after the meeting with Lisa.
You were shrimp cocktail to us.
Yeah.
Who else got it? I think that guy eating the shrimp cocktail.
We thought he was a ringer, that he was just coming in just to pretend like he didn't have it. But we're like, how did he get a shrimp cocktail?
No one, we were all starving. And he's sitting there.
We were not starving. We had craft services. We had the best food that we have ever had in the history of this show.
Too much clam.
We had a lot of good food.
He
We were
had
like, oh, this is
food.
great.
It was weird. He was special. He came in late, and when it was Jeff, Eric, and I about to go into the audition, there's just this guy sitting alone having a shrimp cocktail. We're like, who is this? And it turned out to be the sexiest man alive, 2022.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
It really, and it was also that he was better than us, don't you think?
Well, Al
seemed more special.
I remember Tori being very nervous, but I remember her being super social. And then
Sounds about right.
so take a seat. Jeff is exactly the way that he is now, just like very much like, yeah, I'm here.
What do you want?
What do you want? What do you want?
By the way,
And I was like in a room by myself, like studying like all of the stories for the day, like anything they could possibly ask.
I called Brooks in the bathroom and studied. I was like, I'm in the stall.
Welcome back to DBL. Shares to be Tori.
Turn back time.
that was good.
There it goes. When it comes to her love life. Well done, Tori.
Thank you.
Over the weekend, Cher confirmed she is dating 36-year-old music producer Alexander Edwards after Cher tweeted a photo of Alexander with a heart emoji. She got some pushback from fans because of their 40-year age difference. Cher responded tweeting, quote, "Haters are gonna hate. Doesn't matter that we're happy and not bothering anyone." She also added that love doesn't know math. Meantime, John Mayer, who is 45, was spotted out at dinner with Mad Men star Kiernan Shipka, who is 22. Remember her
Yep.
from Mad Men? Wow.
The daughter.
Wow. But Twitter is pretty silent over their 23-year age difference.
Not my Twitter.
Now, let me tell you something.
Not
First of
Tori's
all,
side
Not
of
my
the neighborhood.
Twitter.
We could go on John Mayer and her because seeing that face, I'm like, wow, that's like I remember her as a little girl, so it's hard to
little girl.
look at her at 22. But Cher's relationship is more than double that of John Mayer. So maybe that's why it's a bigger deal.
That's true.
Not chauvinistic pigs.
No, but John Mayer, I think, has had a pattern.
Sure.
Let's say with Taylor Swift, who recently addressed it in a song. She was 19 when he dated her.
I think
So-
there's a lengthy list.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's why I think that.
But is there a double standard when it comes to something like
Yeah.
this? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If there was any Hollywood male star that was dating somebody 40 years younger, there'd be some chit chat.
It's always that way.
There would be. It's never 40 years is a lot.
Dude.
She is really
Good response.
She really is.
Here's the thing, there has been big age differences, and generally it's the man who is older.
We're not talking generally.
It's uncomfortable because it's a woman, but then also everyone's like, well, we just don't want to see you get hurt. I'm like, okay, if anybody has like F-boy like repellent, it
It's
would be
Cher.
Cher. Like no matter, there isn't an F-boy in the world that could penetrate. Oh, can I not say that?
Definitely not twice.
Just walked in.
Oh, you would have got one of these from Chris if he was here.
There isn't a bleep
There you
boy
go.
in the world that
There you
can
go.
penetrate Cher's power. So I think she's okay.
Haven't we seen this with Madonna as well? I do think that there is a double standard when it comes to famous Hollywood women dating much, much, much younger men. I thought that Jada Pinkett Smith got off pretty easy for dating a very young man that was in her house.
He's on the surreal life now.
Right, yeah, I'm just saying there is a double standard. I'm not saying that these are not adults. I'm not not saying they're doing anything illegal at all. It seems like both parties are very happy. But I'm just saying it's a thing, and we got to call it fair both sides. What's that look for? I'm getting a look.
I really do, although I'm very much a proponent of like what happens in other people's bedrooms as long as they're consenting adults.
Who cares?
You like it, I love it.
Right.
But there is always going to be a side eye for women who are dating younger men over men who date younger
a half a century.
But men have been doing that for years.
A half a century.
For decades.
That's like a book in history.
To me, if he is a grown man, she is a grown woman.
Yeah, okay, but like
He's not 19.
Like we said in 2018, keep the same energy when there's this same thing. Because if there's an older dude, if there's an 80-year-old man dating a 40-year-old woman, you would have no issue?
An 80 and 40? She grown as hell. Can I say
60
that?
and 20.
Did you guys see?
Erica,
Was this real on social media? I saw this thing. I saw this thing of a younger woman pushing like an older man in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then the older man was standing over her grave, and it was kind of like, I guess that didn't turn out the way she thought it was.
Oh, jeez.
What is that?
Is that Josh
I saw it like on Instagram. I didn't know if it was a joke or real.
I wonder if that was Josh Duhamel. I know he went as the Anna Nicole with the walker, and his
No,
wife
it was a
that.
real story, not Josh Duhamel. We'll be right back.
Erica, you want to get one more in?
Today's Sandals word of the day is
Beach. Enter at dailyblastlive.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night escape for 2 to beautiful Curacao.
You know the saying, if you don't have a picture, did it really happen? Well, what about posting a photo of your completed ballot? Verify viewer Tom asked us about the legality of posting a photo of a ballot on social media. So let's verify. Is it legal to post a photo of your completed ballot? Our sources are the National Conference of State Legislatures, New Hampshire House Bill 366, New Hampshire court records, and various state election laws. Each state runs their own elections, and according to the National Conference of State Legislatures, all states have some kind of guidance on how to protect a voter's right to privacy when casting a ballot. To safeguard that right, some states have banned or limited the use of cameras in polling places for decades. But the advent of social media and selfies caused states to question if they needed more restrictions around ballot privacy. In 2014, New Hampshire passed a law prohibiting people from posting pictures of their marked ballots on social media, arguing the pictures could lead to voter intimidation, vote buying, or coercion. But the law didn't stick. A federal court decided that posting a picture of your ballot is protected by the First Amendment right to free speech. Now, Hawaii, Nebraska, Oregon, Colorado, and California are among states that allow people to post photos or selfies of their ballots. But some states don't allow taking photos inside of the polling place at all. In Arizona, if you take a photo within 75 feet of a polling location, you can be charged with a misdemeanor, according to Arizona's Secretary of State. And in Texas, people can't take any wireless device within 100 feet of a polling place. But the state election code doesn't prohibit people from taking pictures of their ballots. So we can verify that rules for taking photos of your ballot vary by state. So before you snap a pic at the polls, make sure to check your state's rules regarding election photography. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. He has a special place in our hearts as Kevin Pearson from This Is Us. And now, Justin Hartley is back, bringing us the tears yet again in his new Christmas movie. Earlier we spoke with Justin about his new movie, The Noel Diary, and the chance of a This Is Us spinoff. That's a lot of stuff. Take a look.
Justin, welcome to DBL.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Justin, this isn't your first holiday movie. We all saw you as a stripping Santa in Bad Moms Christmas.
Love that.
I got to ask you, what made you the most nervous about that role?
Those ladies that you're looking at right now, actually, they were lovely. But I read that script and I thought the character was so hilarious. I had a really funny take on him, and I thought, well, he's not a stripper. He's a guy who just wants to make people happy. That's what he really cares about. And I had this, I thought, really funny take on the character, and it didn't dawn on me until I was standing up on that bar in front of those ladies, the practicality that I would actually have to do that. And so now I'm staring at these ladies. I'm going, well, here we go. And then all the clothes came off. So this is a different kind of movie that I'm doing this year.
Justin, we're going to get to your Christmas movie, but I wanted to point out Sam's wearing a Christmas sweater in honor of your new movie because she knew you guys would be chatting today.
If you answer correctly, you get a candy cane.
I love it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
I fully commit, Justin.
Thank you very much. That's the only way to do it. The only way to do it.
Okay.
That's how I got through Bad Moms Christmas.
All right, we do have to talk about This Is Us, okay, for a second, and then we're going to get to your movie. Would you ever do a Kevin spin-off if it was offered to you?
I want to know your thoughts on this, Randall.
I don't know. You know what? It would have to be the right people involved, and it would have to be pretty damn good. I feel like the writers on This Is Us did a very good job of giving us throughout the series, throughout the course of the 6 years, giving us each our own spin-off moments. You know, we had episodes that were just solely Kevin episodes, or Randall episodes, or Kate episodes, or the parents, or Jack, and so I feel like they all kind of did get their own spin-off within the confines of the series. But yeah, I mean, I loved that job. I loved the people that I worked with. I loved the writers. It was a experience of my life. It was wonderful, and yeah, so I would entertain anything Kevin Pearson.
Well, that leads me to my next question, because later in the show, Kevin became a father to twins. Now, what was it like playing a new father on TV, but you're also a father to a teenager, like I am to two, in real life? What's that like for you?
When you tell me.
No,
it's
every day. You know, we're here with it. It's like every text, they're like, oh, please don't let it be something weird.
It's different. It's when you're on set. I mean, you can have quadruplets, and when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, when they're acting like babies, right? The parents are. It's a totally different world. And then when they're teenagers, I'm lucky. My daughter, as I'm sure you are, my daughter is pretty wonderful. She's in college now, and she's doing great. She's thriving.
Congrats,
and
man.
She's lovely and sweet and kind, and thank you. And so I got really lucky with that. But yeah, it is different. It is stressful because she's my girl, and she's beautiful, and she's young, and she's on her own, and it's tough.
So let's talk about your character in this movie, because your character has quite a journey ahead of him. So we have to ask, is this movie going to make us cry like This Is Us did? Because we need to be prepared.
Like This Is Us did. Well, look, I think in this movie we do certain things that we did on This Is Us, in that we have characters in the film that are very relate to probably every single character in the film. There's certain things that happens to Jake, my character, throughout the course of the movie, and if those things have happened to you, probably if it hits close to home, it'll probably feel it's pretty authentic. I think we do a really good job of telling that story of, when you suffer a loss and maybe you had some things to say to that person, and you always intended, you're gonna say them. I'll get around to it. Eventually, you have to have this conversation and talk this out, and then you don't get that opportunity. I think that's sort of the heartbreak that leads people to that emotional place. But yeah, unless you have a cold, dead heart in your chest, maybe.
Well, that's
the answer was yes.
That's out.
That's my spin-off.
Justin, thank you so much for joining us today. DBL Nation, The Noel Diary premieres on Netflix November 24th. Thanks again, Justin.
I'm back, man. You were great.
Thank you.
Before you head to the polls, let's take a look at some common questions viewers have asked us, so you are prepared when you cast your vote.
Our sources to get these questions answered: Michael Dickerson, Director of Elections in Mecklenburg County, the North Carolina State Board of Elections, and the South Carolina Election Commission.
The first question, do you need an ID to vote? Well, according to the NC Board of Elections, you do not need your ID to vote in North Carolina. This has been an ongoing battle in the state, but the latest court ruling states voters do not need an ID to cast a ballot in the Tar Heel state. However, in South Carolina, you do need an ID in order to vote. That includes a standard driver's license or a voter registration card with a photo, passport, or federal military military ID. The next question, can you vote anywhere in North and South Carolina? During early voting, Dickerson says anyone could vote at any early voting location in the county. However, on Election Day, you have to vote in your precinct. The same rule applies to voting in South Carolina. So no, you cannot pick your polling place on Election Day. We have a full list of where to vote on our website, WCNC.com. And finally, can you wear political attire when you enter the voting booth? Yes, Dickerson says in North Carolina, you are allowed to wear whatever you want, including T-shirts, buttons, and stickers that endorse candidates. However, you cannot disrupt voting, for example, by yelling a political slogan at the polling place. In South Carolina, no political apparel is allowed in the polling place. There will be poll watchers at polling places to make sure people are behaving themselves.
And remember, you are also not allowed to take pictures in the voting area. This is against the law in North and South Carolina. So be sure to save your voting selfies for outside. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
The I Voted sticker is a quintessential part of the voting process in many places. It can also be your ticket to some great discounts and freebies at local businesses. But a Verify viewer sent us an example of one deal posted on Facebook and wants to know if they're actually legal. So let's verify. Our sources are the Federal Elections Commission, the California Secretary of State, the U.S. Code of Laws, and Richard Hassan with UCLA School of Law. A lot of these incentives seem innocent enough, like free donuts, pizza, or coffee to people with the sticker. But the Federal Elections Commission says it is a violation under the U.S. Code of Laws if a federal candidate is on the ballot. This is because federal law prohibits knowingly and willfully paying or offering to pay or accepting payment for voting. Violators can face a fine of up to $10,000 or 5 years in prison. So, no, it is not legal to offer discounts or freebies to voters in federal elections. But your favorite donut shop is probably not breaking the law. That's because as long as they offer the freebie to everyone, not just voters, they're in the clear. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Did you know that taking a bath could be better for your health than a shower? We're talking about it in today's tips, sponsored by Jacuzzi. According to experts, baths can delay aging by lowering cortisol levels in the body. Next, baths do a better job at relieving sore muscles by keeping you submerged. And taking a bath can also lower blood sugar levels. If you want to start taking more baths, Jacuzzi can help you do it in the right way with a spa-like experience. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched, stress-free remodeling process. Visit JacuzziBathRemodel.com or call 800-523-1523. We got bath people up here.
I want a jacuzzi because I have a bath, but it's not big enough. My knees stick out and your knees get cold and you're like, I can't.
And also a friend.
Yeah.
See,
I want a jacuzzi.
I will see you tomorrow.